Hello, Buckeye fans. Jeff Rash here for the Gilmer Buckeyes Coaches Show, along with our head coach and my athletic director, Mr. Alan Metzel. Alan, tough break Friday night.
Tough game. Played a really good team, and they got after us.
We played a great team. That's a good football team. We were talking about this on air, before the game going. There's a lot of, there's some teams that come in the stadium and you're like, oh, it's going to be a great game. And it's Friday night, and anything could happen. That's why you play the game, and blah blah. But we were recognizing that you have two of the best programs in the state of Texas here. If there's any game you wanted to watch as a football fan on Friday night, this was it. And I can tell you where to be this Friday night.
Yes.
It's going to be in Pleasant Grove, Texas, because you're going to have two great football programs on the field, too. It's going to be a great game. So we knew we were in for a good game because we had two programs with a lot of history, a winning tradition, two state championships between the two teams that from 04 to now in the last 16 years. So it's pretty phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, so you look at their record, you look at our record. We've either won state or been beat by the eventual state championships. Most 9 years. Out of the last, 18 years or something. I mean, crazy. So we knew it was going to be a good ball game.
Right.
It seems like I say this every week, but we look down on the field and we're always outmanned from a size perspective. Do you ever notice this?
It is.
I mean, Henderson.
Right.
Lindale.
Right.
I mean, it just like last year was the same way. It was like every team that came in here had these giants.
Right.
It was like David and Goliath, but none more so, in my opinion, than this game.
Right.
How big a factor was it for you when for that O line having five guys over 300 pounds?
Sure.
I mean,
well,
surely it's a factor.
Oh, it is absolutely, and especially as clean as they played. I hoped that with them being off for 3 weeks, they wouldn't play as clean.
Yeah.
They did. They played clean.
Yeah.
And that's what you do when you're a good program and you're well coached. Yeah. But, when you've got men, every man is 100 pounds more than your defensive lineman, and they're leaning on you play after play after play, that first drive, that in and of itself was tough on us.
Yeah.
Just it took something from us. They're so big. And they were moving our D linemen back into our linebackers, and it was tough to stop. And then they have a really good running back game, back there and behind them.
Yeah, they did. They had an outstanding running back. He's a good running back. He runs north and south really hard.
Has great vision.
But he never even got touched for first 5 yards. I mean, if you go back and look at film,
he's blessed.
He's blessed. He's like Emmett Smith in the 90s, running behind that big line. And I think that was the big difference maker in the game. Honestly, they got great skilled kids. Their quarterback. He's a returning 6'4", 6'5".
245,
he can
whatever.
sling a ball. He looks like an NFL quarterback. Throw a ball well. He had plenty of time to throw the ball, so obviously that makes you look good. They're skilled kids, and I feel like their skilled kids and our skills were pretty evenly matched.
I agree.
But the trenches, that's where games were won and lost. And if you flip it on the other side, didn't you think defensively they had some big boys there too?
Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and athletic and big.
Yeah.
And I thought our O-line, for the most part, Brandon took some hits, but they battled. They really did a good job because, especially when we got so far behind, we had to throw and throw and throw. Well, they know what you're doing, and they're lining up, bringing it.
So the jig's up at that point. Yeah.
Your run game is about gone out the window at that point.
Yeah, so there, obviously Scott Surratt in his 14th year over there, just a great coach.
Definitely.
I mean, the guy's good.
Yeah, I respect
he's among the best.
Respect him as much as anybody in the state. Yeah.
He's earned that. 89% winning, percentage. I mean, the guy's pretty good.
Yes.
And if anybody was wondering if Carson's going to be good this year, the answer is yes, because they played a very good, very solid, well-coached Gilmer football team. And with that size, speed, and coaching, they play extremely well. They're a little mouthy for my taste, personally. I know you don't want to comment on that, but I can. And I saw a lot of that on the field. I'm sure that gets frustrating for you, them trying to get – and I've heard some of the things that were being said over there, and you would expect better from a team like that with that kind of history. But that sounds like sour grapes, and maybe it is on my part. But I said all that so nobody can say you said it.
We just try and focus on us.
I know you do.
There you go.
You do that, and I'll do
focus
the
on
I'll
us.
do the other.
You bet.
So, what did you see that you we talk about this every week? What did you see that you liked? There were a lot of positive things that happened in the game.
There were.
When you're playing against a good team like that. So, what did you see positive? What did you see negative?
Right. Positive. I thought we made some big plays. We had some guys make some very high level catches. Brandon did a great job of throwing the ball. Our running backs did a tremendous job picking up blitzes. They ended up having to block a lot. and stuck their nose in there against some big fellas and did a great job at it.
That big number 5 coming off the end.
You know, you're talking about a 205, 210-pound linebacker, you know, and they're just stepping in and blocking him. So those kind of things, that will bode well for us later, you know, throughout the season. It also showed a selflessness, which I love. The thing, I guess, that I would say I would take out of it the best was we really continued to have some senior leadership where they're holding things together, where they're getting into their guys. They're not becoming selfish, which is easy to do when you're struggling like that. And they didn't. So whether we won or we lost, we have to keep in perspective. Now, I would rather teach having won, but we didn't. That this is a step along the journey all the way to December 18th. Yeah. It's a step. Yeah. And, you know, you win, you have to keep people's heads, you know, in the right place. And when you lose, you have to keep people's heads in the right place. Yeah. And I thought the leadership was good. From a negative standpoint, I think there's times when we could have made plays that we didn't. And when you're playing a team like that, you can't miss them. Yeah. You can't, and we'll look at some of those.
We'll look at a couple opportunities missed. Yeah,
you can't miss those because if you do, it's gone. And
against a team like that,
you got to hit.
You
all
just got to
them.
near to play perfect. You really do. You got to play your best game.
You do.
And here's the thing is because they're in Division II now. I mean, we could actually meet these guys again at the state championship. And I think I feel very confident in saying that I think both teams have a very good opportunity to make it down there. If you look at the road ahead and see what you got to do to get there, there's a really good chance that could happen. And so,
that's the goal.
Yeah, it is the goal. So we'll keep our fingers crossed.
You bet.
Hope we get there and get a rematch.
Absolutely.
Right?
We would love that.
So that'll be good. So let's go to some film. Let's talk about some key plays that went our way and some that went their way, and talk about missed opportunities and just kind of give a little sneak peek behind the scenes. The first one that we're going to look at, you've pulled for us, is a great. It looks like a fly route, but it's actually
it's a double move.
A double move.
Right.
So he comes and stutters and then runs down the.
And then goes off.
Dylan, I thought, played a good game.
Really well.
I mean,
played
very athletic.
7 catches, 120-something yards, and a touchdown. He really took his game to another level. He did against this level of competition. So I've got him circled here on the field, and you're going to see they're putting people to him. You're going to see the safety, the corner, the outside backer. They're all very aware of where he is. So he comes off. You can see the safety moving to him, but by making the double move, it froze him. Brandon does a great job of putting the ball outside. And of course,
well-thrown
ball.
He does a great job of going up high.
He does a tremendous job of high pointing.
He's been tearing people up all year with that. Just athleticism.
He can really jump, and he has great hand-eye coordination. He does. Okay, so this is on this drive. So we have a 2nd and 8 here, I believe, and we're just inside the 20-yard line. And we have an opportunity to score, and this is one of those opportunities that we miss. And you're just going to see the fine line between scoring and not. So I've got a scenario here where, let me go back to this tighter version. I've got this defensive tackle circled here, and his penetration on this play is going to mess this whole thing up. So here he comes, he gets off the ball. We're looking to hit Mason up the field on a rail route. So here comes the penetration. You're going to see him get the push. There's Mason. Mason's about to break into the open, and right when Brandon's about to throw it, he ends up getting that pressure, which causes him to have to move. You can see Mason come wide
another
open.
Second.
Just probably 0.5.
Yeah.
0.5. But that little movement caused us to not be able to hit him.
And we had a wide open Mason down there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So you have a chance for a score.
And that's the thing most people don't see in the game, because until you go back and watch film, you don't see those things because you're usually watching the ball. So when the ball's snapped, you're watching the quarterback. When it leaves it, you follow the ball. And so you don't see all these open routes and what happens until you go back and look at film.
And the timing of it.
Now you guys are seeing it live because you know where the ball's going.
We know where it's headed.
And so you're looking and saying, is it open,
We're going, oh my goodness.
So you get to be,
Yes, we knew. So
and those happen more often than you want.
No doubt.
And you look at that, how many times Brandon Tennyson ever fumble a ball?
Oh, on this next play. Yeah.
Never.
Right. This next play, we have a scenario where you're going to see their corner they're gonna bring him on a corner blitz off the edge, and you're gonna see Mason up the sideline wide open. It would have been something Brandon would have gone right to. There's safety, who I'm gonna circle here over the top. He didn't get over the top of Mason. So, I mean, he's
wide open. That's blown coverage on their part.
Wide open. But, unfortunately, we had an issue with the snap, and so now, it disrupted the timing, and they knock it out. So there's 2 plays in a row where just for us, we're going, man, a missed opportunity.
Yeah, because think about that. Coming out in the third quarter, it's
28-0.
Then it's 28-14. Mm-hmm. You get these 2 plays.
Exactly.
And there are other plays.
Sure.
And if you watch their film, they'll look at the same thing and go, here's 2 more touchdowns we should have had, right?
Sure. Right.
So it's woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Right.
It doesn't matter now, but it gives you an idea of what's going on if you're not absolutely perfect when you're playing against those teams. Yeah.
Well, and when people say, well, what are you doing to get better? Well, we got to do a better job of cutting off that penetration. The play's there.
Yeah.
We just got to cut off that penetration on the first play. On the second play, we got to get a clean exchange. Those kind of things, that there's a fine line between a touchdown and not, many cases.
Yeah.
Many cases.
So this next one is a touchdown by Dylan.
Yes.
And we're headed to his favorite place, that corner of the end zone again.
Exactly. That's kind of his home. We're going to see him out here. I circle him out here on the closest to us. When you can get single coverage with him on a corner, we feel pretty good that we have a chance to win. And the guy chasing him trips and falls down, and we score a touchdown. So now it's 28-7. We're on the board. We finally got something going. And, at this point, they're going to put more points on the board.
Sure.
They're good.
Yeah.
So there's no sense going, well, let's just kick it deep and see if they can score. You got to go.
You
got to go for it.
It's third quarter.
Yeah. So here we go, and we line up in our for our onside kick here, and Dominic Chavez, our kicker in this case. Wow.
Did he nail
How
that
about that kick? I mean,
that was textbook.
It was textbook. You couldn't have kicked a better kick. So he puts it on the ground, and it pops up, and Rowan Fluellen just jumps, out of the gym. You see how high he is right there, and
That's
comes
an
down with the ball.
move.
Very athletic move, and we end up with the ball.
And we end up with momentum.
Correct.
More importantly, now it's just like last week against Lindale. Now the momentum is shifting, and you can feel it. Everybody in the stadium can feel it.
That's right. And this next play, we've got Marche Spraglin out there on the top corner of your picture. We're going on another go route. And again, we're singled up. We've got a guy with speed. Brandon throws these well. He's going to drop back, put the ball up. Tremendous concentration.
Oh, what a catch.
Right over the top
I
of
thought
the
he
defender.
dropped it. I thought there was no way he had it. It was so far from us.
Right.
I said, oh, he dropped it. Well, he didn't.
He didn't.
He reeled that one in for a
came
TD.
in. So now we went from 28-0 to 28-14, and here we go again. We're going to line up this onside kick.
And you're thinking, can he do this twice?
That's what I'm thinking.
Then he does.
I hope he does. He nails it again. I mean, it couldn't have been better. So he gets it on the ground. It pops up, and we're a little bit early on our jump, and the ball is just beyond our fingertips, and they end up falling on the ball.
And we had a great shot at getting that ball.
Great job.
There's black jerseys all around that ball.
Absolutely.
And again, if he'd have waited a half a second to jump, he'd have pulled that one down.
He'd have gotten it just like the last one.
But let's give Chavez some credit.
Oh,
my gosh.
tremendous
You know how
job.
hard that is to do?
Yes.
And
Under
he
pressure.
does the same exact kick twice. Unbelievable.
2 times in a row.
What a great job. This is another play that was a good opportunity. I'm thinking, okay,
Right.
let's get in the end zone. We need to get in here now.
Right.
This is just a pass we couldn't reel in. Long go route, fly route to Mason.
I put this one in just from the standpoint of where it's 28-14, and we've got a shot right here. Again, a really well thrown ball. Mason's at the top of your screen, very similar to what we just threw to Marche. And he puts the ball up. The defender does a great job of getting his arm on Mason's.
They had a very athletic secondary.
Every position out there, they're really talented. Mason goes up, gets his hands on the ball, and as he's coming down, the guy rakes it out legally. It wasn't anything illegal.
It's just good defense.
He just pulled his arm down, and the ball came out. We would have had the ball on about the 2-yard line to try and bring it within 7.
Yeah.
So
still fighting your way into the game. This
fighting.
is a big 4th down stop. They went for it. They were looking at about 4th and 8.
Yes.
And they go for it.
They go for it. Marche Spraglin is at the corner up at the very top of your screen, does a great job getting good tight coverage. The quarterback throws a little bit high, and now we've got the ball. We're hoping, okay, here we go. Let's go score.
So this is, to me, now you as a coach, you're going to see every opportunity.
Right.
You've gone back and studied the film, and you're like, well, here's one, here's one, here's one. To me, we still had momentum.
Right.
Here it's like, so what? We missed the onside kick,
Right.
got the ball back after we stopped them. Now let's get down the field. So we're on their 38-yard line.
Exactly.
And it's first down.
Right.
So I'm thinking, this is great. We're fixing to make this 21-28. This is getting really interesting.
Sure.
Against this team.
Right.
And unfortunately, miscommunication on route or whatever the situation is,
Right.
Interceptions happen. It's part of football.
Sure.
We throw an interception, and I felt like that's kind of where we lost it.
Yeah,
that was the game. To me, if you picked a play that what happened, I think this is the one that probably shifted the momentum.
Right, back to them. Right. Yeah. Here we are, like you say, we just had a big stop on a fourth down. We're within striking distance. I've already mentioned they know we have to throw it, and so they're able to dial. You can look at how many guys are up on the line, and they're bringing some of them and not bringing some, and all sorts of loops and crosses. And so, you can see they're doing a zone blitz.
Back,
they're dropping their defensive ends and bringing linebackers. So, and their safeties are squatting on our route there, and he jumps in front and picks off the pass. It's one of those things when, we've just hit several huge plays by pushing the envelope. Well, here's where, we were living on the edge for a little bit long, and they make the pick and swing the momentum back to them.
They did.
Yeah.
I thought it was a hard-fought ball game. I'd love to play them again. Let's do it in the state championship.
I would love to.
That'd be a great deal. Wouldn't that be something? That'd be
That would be
prophetic
awesome.
right here. Let's from our mouth to God's ears, right?
We'll take it. Yeah.
So next week we have a bye this week,
Right.
And so we won't be doing a coach's show. For those of you that watch every week, we won't do one for next week because this is the one for the following week. So we're playing Spring Hill here.
Yes. First district game.
First district game. That's where it starts counting.
Right.
All these first 5 games were great practice. Now it starts counting because I know you don't like this. As a layman, I'm looking at this going, okay, this is probably a battle for district championship in game 10. At least I hope that's how it works out. I hope you should be how it works out. Anything could happen, but more than likely, game 10, Pleasant Grove here in this stadium, probably going to be a battle for district championship. So now it starts counting this week. So we got Spring Hill first.
Right.
What can we expect?
Well, they have a new coach. Weston Griffiths is their head coach. He was their O-line coach last year. He was there with Johnny Levere. Before Johnny left, he brings a lot of energy. Kids love him. They play for him. He's going to have his guys playing hard. The past couple of years, they've given us battles. They
played us close the last 2 years.
Yeah,
and they've won their last 2 games.
Exactly. They've won the last 2. So, this won't be anything where we think, we'll just move on to whatever. Now, we know we've got to prepare, and we will. Every district game matters. And from a coaching standpoint, I know sometimes it sounds cliche. It sounds like, just coach talk. But it truly is, every game is the game. Wherever you're playing, if you look at it differently, you lose something. And so when you get to some team that you have decided is the team you have to beat, then you're not as prepared because you miss some steps along the way. Yeah. And so, we will be focused. We will be working hard to correct some of the things, some of the slow starts, some of the lack of execution at times that we've got to get done if we want to make a push into the playoffs, and have an opportunity to go challenge Carthage again or whoever at that point. So we know they're going to play hard. We know that there's a lot of pride in this battle, this game for them and for us. And we look forward to using this week to get some guys, a little bit healthier and catch our breath a little bit. And then when we're here, we're going to be busting it, getting better. That's what we're going to do this week.
That's what you do in Buckeye football.
That's right.
That's why you do the Buckeye Maker.
Yes, sir.
All right. So 4-1, great record. You're up against a team that I'm convinced will be in the state championship. regardless. Hopefully, we'll be right there with them.
I would love to see that.
So no shame in fighting hard against a team that stacked and that good and that well coached.
Yes, sir.
That kind of tradition. So we're proud of the job you're doing and all of your coaches. I couldn't be happier. I know the town feels the same way. There's just a lot of energy in town right now. Man, I see it everywhere I go.
I'm so
and people
grateful. Here in Gilmer, the people are just awesome. I mean, they're firing me up every time we get to visit and talk, and they're asking questions and want to know who we're playing and who's good, and well, that's exciting.
Yeah,
you know, to have that buzz. So,
good stuff. I'm seeing it all over town, and people that I talk to or stop me at Walmart or wherever,
that's
they
what
want they want to talk football,
Yes.
And that's good. I love it. So thank you for that. Thanks for the support for the team. So we're going to be here, not this Friday night, the following Friday night, as the Spring Hill Panthers take on the Gilmer Buckeyes. We'll see you then.